Hi, Jim. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
So you added to your win streak or unbeaten streak?
Yes. Yeah. It was tight. They played really well. Fossil's team played really well.
It didn't see. I was there for most of the game. It didn't seem like you bent the rules as much this time.
No. I mean, other than loading the bases with Rampage on third. We put Rampage on the plate and loaded the bases with 3 rookies, and I think we got 1 run. So that didn't work for us. But I caught them cheating. So they were loading the bases, and they got a little bit out of order. So it cost them a half an inning.
That was amazing. Half an inning.
Yeah.
They had to forfeit a whole half an inning of batting?
That
was a heck of a catch by Hecker, huh?
Hecker's catch. I'm going to tell you what, I don't know if you know, but Aeneas was the star out there. He's 20 years older than these guys, and he was great. We were really glad that he showed up. So
the players
was a fun event.
Get favor with you if they perform well for you on softball?
As long as they're on my team and we win. Yeah, we're okay. So that's a fun event. So appreciate you guys giving us the support.
How'd it go today?
Today was good.
Nice day to work, huh?
Yeah, good warm day. Got a lot of work in. We had to eliminate a period because of time restrictions, but the guys did really well yesterday. We'll back down a little bit tomorrow. Kind of do a non-OTA mental day, kind of get them back, but didn't have any issues today. It was great.
How long do you get them a day? What are the rules?
The OTA is a 6-hour day from the time they step in the building until the time we're done. So and then it's a 2-hour time limit for practice.
Does that hurt the development of the younger players, the rookies, the time limitations?
There's no limitations for the rookies. So
they're there longer?
This is veteran players, yeah. The limitations relate just specifically to the veteran players. There's no limitations for rookies. So we keep the rooks after, and get a lot more work. Not that we're doing anything on the field, but a lot more classroom stuff, and so a little longer day for the rookies.
Coach, you coached Bryce Hager's dad. What does that make you feel like when you're coaching the son?
Saying, do I feel old? Something like that. It's interesting because I got the combine and I wasn't familiar with everybody there, and I saw the name in the linebacker thing. I wonder if this is Britt's kid, and so as it turns out, it was. So it's a great story behind how he was drafted, how Britt was drafted there in Philly, and played a long time. And there's similarities. Bryce moves a lot like his dad, and he's a good athlete.
Are you comfortable with where you're at right now on the receiving floor? Kind of how you're evaluating the veterans that come in and any rookies that have
it's a good group. It's competitive, and they're all doing very well right now. They're getting a good feel with Nick and making plays. The OTAs are such that the defense usually has the advantage unless you get into 7-on-7. But when we get into 7-on-7, put the ball down the field, they're all doing well.
One of those receivers is Marquez, who's with the Mets organization. Can you see that athleticism, or what do you?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you would expect he has very good hand-eye coordination and understands the game, runs good routes. And he's got a chance. You'll see him make quite a few plays in preseason this year.
Kenny Britt told us last week he felt like the first, whatever it was, 5 years before he rejoined you here were wasted. Do you agree with that? But also, do you see that he's matured? Has he matured since you first drafted?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say they were wasted. I think in life, anybody has something to do over again, you'll do it better. And that, Kenny was in the wrong place at the wrong time, made some choices that probably didn't work out best for him. But I knew him. I knew he was young. I knew he had it in him. So, his production last year, I think speaks for itself. And I can appreciate his higher expectations for this year.
Do you think there's more that you can get more out of him?
There's an opportunity for more production. We just have to get run the football and get the ball to him.
With your center group, would you like that to crystallize sooner than later, or do you envision that carrying on?
We're not going to make a decision on that real early. Want to let them all play. We're rotating them. They're all getting opportunities to work with Nick, and so he's familiar not only with exchanges but also the communication. So. We'll make that decision when somebody, shows us that he's he's earned the job.
With the nature of that position, how important is just the mental side of it, having a guy in there who can make the calls?
Well, it's really important. I mean, Scott did a great job for us. Scott was really smart, and so there's no indications at this point that there's going to be limitations from a mental standpoint with the guys that are competing. They all understand.
Jeff Saffold, that shoulder's bothered him a couple of years now. How much more effective do you think he can be now that's taken care of?
Well, it's fixed. We're just being smart right now. He feels great, so we have every reason to expect that thing's not going to pop out every 3 weeks like it did. So I think there's so much ahead of him right now from an upper body strength. So we're just trying to be smart with him now.
How about Robinson? He's lost like 20 pounds this last year. Did you guys encourage him to do that?
He's been working here. He's been rehabbing and working, and he feels good, and his strength has increased. So if there's a little bit of weight loss and increase in strength, that's a good thing.
Nick Burley's had problems with conditioning in the past. How have you been impressed, or how do you evaluate how he's coming to OTAs?
Nick, I was actually concerned about Nick's weight being on the low side. So Nick's changed lifestyle, changed diet, and we're trying to get some weight back on him right now. So, and he's done it. He's worked hard the last couple of weeks, but no, he's doing fine. His condition level is fine. So if he's going to compete with our guys up front, he's going to have to run. He knows that.
How are the rookies on the offensive line
They're doing fine. Yeah, Rob's doing good. JB's doing good. Andrew's doing good. The whole crew. Cody's set back. He's got a little calf, so we're going to rest him. But it's a good group. They understand what they're doing.
I haven't seen McDonald practicing. Is he coming off
coming off a little ordeal? Yeah, so he'll be ready for camp. Yeah, he had a little off-season issue.
I wanted to ask you about meant to ask you last week and forgot the 2-point changes in the not the 2-point but the extra point. Mm-hmm. Back, just how you feel about that rule.
Well, I'm glad it ended the way it did. I was opposed to the 2-point play, moving it to the 1.5 yard line that was talked about, and even to the 1 yard line. I'm glad that we've kept the 2-point attempt on the 2. I'm fine with, and I understand the rationale and the reasoning behind it. To put a little bit more emphasis on the extra point because of the percentages. The concern is not my opinion, but both schools of thought. One school of thought is, someone's gonna be put in a position to kick an extra point in the fourth quarter in December in the AFC or NFC North in a 40-mile-an-hour wind to tie a ball game. Someone else is going to be kicking it from inside. So competitively, it all works out. But it's going to make it a much more exciting play. I think we're going to see more 2-point attempts. We just have to. We will be working with the officiating department, not only from the standpoint of penalty enforcement, because there's a lot of different things that can happen. For example, if you're attempting to go for 2 and you convert, yet you're called for holding or OPI, now you have to you'll be penalized from the 2 yard line to the 12. So are you forced to go for 2 at the 12, or can you enforce that penalty from the 15 and then take that shot at the extra point? So there's a lot of things and they're sorted out, but there'll be things that come up
that you'll have to decide right in the heat of a game, right?
Well, no. I mean, yes, you can have either option.
Mm-hmm.
You have either option. The penalty enforcement will be from either spot, either the 2 or the 15, if you're on the 2. And then the other thing that we'll be dealing with is that what the opposing team, let's just say the opposing team scored, the communication process to us as to whether they're going to put the ball in the 2 or put it on the 15.
So you need to have enough time to get your
match up.
defense out, or
substitutions and match up. Yeah, so
and
it'll change. It's going to be a significant change at some point during the season. There'll be a critical play.
And you'll be able to, defense are allowed to return a fumble or interception, right?
Yes, so there'll be much more incentive to block the extra points.
Jeff, you put a premium on bringing Rodney McLeod back. Just how have you seen his growth over the few years you've been here?
Every year he just steps it up a huge notch. From being our best special teamer the first year to starting last year to now he's both a starter and a special teamer. He just gets the game moving very well. I thought he played really well last year. He misjudged a couple of deep balls, but everybody does that. But I thought he was really active and knew what to do and run support very well.
You have an update on how Jeff Garcia likes being a wide receiver, hanging out with the wide receivers?
Well, he gets to throw. You know, he loves to throw. He can still throw. You know, there's some rule that says we can't bring him back in case we got a problem at quarterback, but he could still win games for you. So it's a different perspective for the receivers, which we thought was great. It was a great idea, and he's doing a really good job with it.